Bonjour, bonsoir from the stars of Napa Valley. Dear friends, this is the end of July on this happy hour, and we have a stellar guest. She comes from another world. She's been, unlike most of us, into other stratosphere. She understands stem cells, she's an educator, but what she does is she jumps very high as going to space. So today we'll be talking about space, about energy, about vibration, about magnetism, about the planets, about the asterisks. We'll be talking about the world that we don't know too much as of yet, but we all magnetize by from the beginning of time to today. That's where we all want to go. She promised me that she will take me to space. So it's going to be a fantastic moment. To bring her in, I'm going to make her pop. You see, that's a zero gravity wine. So, Domina Stamas!
All right, that was an amazing introduction.
Well, you see, we are in a spaceship right now.
We are floating. That's exactly right.
It's so beautiful to see you.
It's beautiful to see you too.
Gorgeous eyes, irresistible smile, and fabulous look.
Yes. Trying.
Well, let's have a proper toast to each other.
Cheers.
Santé. Domina, it's a gorgeous name. Do you like it?
I do. That's
Would you
really
take
nice.
it to space with you?
No, because it's bubbly.
Yes, and because a lot of that will happen.
Yeah, so bubbles are not good in space.
Why is that?
No, seriously. So
explain us.
So
we cannot take JCB 69
yeah,
into
you
space?
can't take bubbles. So you can take regular wine, but bubbles don't. Anything carbonated isn't very good for astronauts because here on Earth, gravity holds all those gases. But in space, the astronauts, so the way they figured this out is astronauts wanted soda, right? They wanted
of course.
just regular soda, and so when they took sips of it, the bubbles automatically just kind of floated. So everything just came up. So you can't
I
have
love the
anything.
visual.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yes,
it was
visual.
what just happened?
Yes. Yeah.
The bubbles coming out.
The
So
bubbles
if I
came
drink the
out.
bubbles, they would slowly but surely come out?
Yeah, because you don't have gravity holding all that in your stomach.
So let's look at each other. And dear friends, imagine the bubbles coming out of each other's mouth.
Oh, that's a
We're kissing through our bubbles.
That's... Okay.
Ooh, you did not look that enchanted to kiss through our bubbles. Maybe we'll kiss in real life shortly.
No, so... I would say kissing when the bubbles come out of our mouths would be slightly awkward.
Well, it's pretty sensual.
It's almost like throwing up in each other's mouths.
Oh, that's a little extreme, Domina. Well, what does it feel like?
I don't know. I've never
Well, tell me what you
experienced
sense
it.
in this wine.
So
tell me what you...
Okay, so what I sense in this wine, a bubble bath.
Ooh, here we go. You're talking my language.
Yeah, so a bubble bath that's not too hot. It's very mild. Not too, like, where you got to sweat and come out of it real quick. So
Are you alone in that bubble bath?
Yes.
Ooh. All right. Just a question.
But the option
Yes.
of an invitation is there. So it's not exclusively alone, but it's definitely available for sharing.
Wow. I'm almost out of breath. Domina, this is one of the best descriptions I've ever had of JCB 69.
Oh, well, there you go. That's, yeah.
Did the actual number inspire you to go there?
I did not know that was the number of this bubbly. So that meant that really went there.
Ooh, that's when a name has a meaning, and the meaning
and the meaning comes out
explained in the
without
glass.
even knowing that the name was even there.
I love it.
So
Domina, before we go to the beautiful jacket, you have a gorgeous name.
Yes.
I don't know, dear friends, if you've ever encountered, and we have friends from all over the world with us, Domina is such a great name. What's the origin?
So it's Latin, and it means lady. So in the Roman Catholic Church, they sing about the Domino, which is the Lord. So
Yes.
Domina is the feminine version of Lord. There's actually a show. It's called Domina or Domina, and it just shows the hierarchy of a household. She's the lady of the house. So yeah, so that's
So
basically
you're the lady of the shuttle. You're the lady of the spaceship.
Yes, I am the lady of the spaceship, but I haven't been there yet, so I can't quite.
Well, so tell us about why you have this beautiful Sophia. So
there's
look at this.
Yeah.
Stratospheric Observatory.
For infrared astronomy. So I was selected one of 20 educators in 2020 to participate as an Airborne Astronomy Ambassador. And what that means is NASA trains you, they give you the curriculum, they give you all the information that you need to teach about infrared imaging and the technology behind it to your students and inspire your students. And part of that role is flying on this telescope. So it is a 747, Boeing 747, and there's a 10-foot telescope attached to it. And so we fly from sunset to sunrise, so about 9 hours, and we just take images of certain targets as we fly through the stratosphere at 43,000 feet.
This is so cool. Mm-hmm. Have you ever dreamt of doing this?
Yes.
So did you apply to eventually be selected?
Yeah. So you apply, and it's a few essay questions, and it's a competitive program, and I was very honored to be selected, and they took care of us very well when we got. So we were the group of educators. We went in end of June, but this group of educators, we were the first to fly since October of 2019. Wow. Because of COVID. So my original flight was supposed to be in May of 2020, but COVID hit. Yeah. So we were waiting for us to actually fly. And it was such an honor, and it was really cool to see how NASA welcomed us, and they were so excited for us to be there. And it was such an honor to be able to do science with them.
And which NASA center did you depart from?
Yeah, good question. That's the Armstrong, so in Palmdale, Armstrong facility.
Wow, in
Southern California.
Southern California, that's right.
Yep.
And that's where. How many planes of those do they have? Is it the only one?
It's the only one.
This is brilliant. So give us some stories about what you've seen.
Okay.
Because this is quite amazing.
Okay, so one of my favorites that I love to talk about, and I can't wait to share this with my students, is I got to be in the cockpit for about an hour. I'm also a student pilot right now, so I'm getting my private pilot's license.
Congratulations.
So aviation is also another passion of mine. But I got to be in the cockpit for about an hour, and I got to see the moon rise from the horizon. And the moon, as it's rising, looks different than the sun rising. So it's because the atmosphere. So the moon was actually this like pink and reddish color as it was coming up from the horizon.
Gorgeous.
And then of course, as it's getting higher and higher, we're I could show you pictures, but we're basically like eye level to the moon.
Well, it would be great if you accept to share some of those to all our friends.
Yeah, I can totally.
If you're able to do so,
I can do that.
We want it.
Yeah, so the cool part about being a part of this is that it's not secretive. So there were a few things we couldn't share, but it was just to make sure that the integrity of the mission was there. And the mission was we took images of an asteroid, we took images of a star, and we chased the moon for about 2.5 hours. So
who goes faster?
The moon.
Yes, of course.
The moon. Right. The moon goes relatively because we're closer to the moon. So
that's right.
And it was cool because like the images would pop up on our screen.
Yes.
And all of a sudden the moon would be out of the screen, but the telescope is designed to recalibrate and to refocus back onto your target.
And you have to move the telescope, or it moves on its own?
It does it because the telescope is actually behind a bulkhead. So, so you see how it's kind of opened here?
Absolutely.
So there's a bulkhead here, and we're all in this area. So the telescope, no one can be in here, obviously, because
Sure.
it's minus 60 degrees and there's no pressure and you would die. So you don't want to be in where the telescope actually is.
So where the telescope is, it's minus 60.
Well, where the plane is,
Yeah.
everything is like minus 60 degrees. And so what ends up happening is once we get to altitude, this door opens and then the
Yes.
telescope points at whatever target is you're reaching.
So cool.
Yeah, and so the telescope then sends those images to a screen and you get to see. It's hot in here.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Are we going to get something
Like,
that space gave you? You want to get much lighter?
I'm gonna take.
We're
off
gonna
my
take
jacket,
off
so
some.
I'm
Ooh
gonna
la
take off
la!
my jacket.
Woo!
It's
I'm
hot.
discovering, as you are, dear friends, an amazing tatouage.
Oh yes.
Oh la 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 la!
Tatouage.
Well, it's the French version of the tattoo.
I did not know that.
Well, we need more. I'm gonna need more wine here. This is what a
Oh
brilliant.
wait, so we got a different one?
Yes, so we
Wait.
started with JCB 69. Do you remember the bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to JCB Chardonnay number 76 in honor of America beating the French in 1976.
1976?
There was a big competition in the world called the Judgment of Paris. And 2 American wines came first in front of 2 French wines. So
Guess
Time
what?
magazine put the cover of
So
those American wines.
this is where I believe energy and the universe kind of brings people together. I was born in 1976.
Don't we all wish we were? Thank you for making us envious and jealous.
Yes.
Let's have a toast to your birthday.
All right, 1976.
So that should be...
Whoa!
Do you feel the vibration?
Yes. What kind of glass is that?
Ooh, we only drink out of crystal.
I have never.
Listen to it and bring it to your ear. Can you feel the speed of light? Almost. It travels at the speed of light.
Whoa.
That's the echo of crystal. It's 440 grams of crystal. So it's a glass we designed. It could go to space. Crystal can resist to any type of temperature. And this is a glass with a diamond cut, big opening for the aroma of the wine. And then the lip here, which is curved a little bit.
Beveled a little, I have never experienced. That was like a gong. Bong.
That was
or one of those like.
Do you feel the vibration
bowls,
in your body?
Yes, it was like kong.
So what does it
That's
make
a sound.
you feel? Tell me.
It makes me feel a vibration.
I like that. Is it bringing lusciousness to you? That's a luscious wine, isn't it?
Let me try. I wasn't thinking about it.
Let's
I
do
actually
it.
was drinking.
Okay, let's do it again.
Okay. Whoa.
I love it to be educated by an educator and at the same time giving a little bit of an education too. Because, we have a
That's
teacher,
really nice.
master's degree in stem cell.
Do you know what frequency this is vibrating at?
Yes.
Okay, I had a feeling you would know.
9.86.
Okay, 9.86.
Great question.
That's a really good question. So,
Well, that's pretty much a little higher and above the frequency of the Earth, which is around 7.8.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the frequency is very, very important, and vibrations are essential to wine because the glass and the content communicates it to the wine and vice versa. And we believe magnifies and brings another dimension to the wine thanks to those vibrations. Frequency and the Schumann effect, I'm sure you've heard of it.
No.
Which is a measurement of vibration
Okay,
and
yes.
frequency.
Okay.
But back to that tattoo.
Yes.
And the taste of the wines.
Yeah, so the wine, this is very subtle actually.
Yeah.
It's not too sweet, so it's very dry, I would say.
Yes.
So I really don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to wine, but I'm having a good time pretending that I do.
The key though, do you like it? Because you're going to have to finish your glass.
Okay, all right.
Do you like the style? It's a Napa Valley Chardonnay estate. And it has a little bit of spice at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of like sweet wines.
No.
So this is
We
really
wouldn't
nice.
do
And then
sweet
this
wines.
one is really good too. So these are good.
We passing the test of 2 wines. There's a third one.
Yeah, these are really
Hopefully
good.
can we get an A+ today, do you think? There's a chance?
A so far. I don't give A pluses.
Oh, really? Are you
Yes.
that type of tough teacher?
Well, yes.
We're going to go to education shortly.
Hey.
But tell us about your tattoo.
Okay, so my tattoo. So after I went into the stratosphere, I've been thinking about this tattoo for a long time. This right here is the constellation Aquarius. So this is my son, and this is the Taurus constellation, which is my daughter. And it's just a nebula kind of look to it, in a watercolor. Yeah.
So well done. So you have a specific tattoo artist who
yeah,
knew
so
who did it?
His name is Aaron, and he's from Royal Peacock in Sacramento. So
yeah, because it's not easy to do coloring.
Yeah, no, he did
level.
the great, like this watercoloring right here, and he did this right here. So
Stunning.
It's still healing. I got these two first, and then I added the purple to it, or he added the purple to it.
How long ago?
Last week.
Wow!
Yeah, so it's
on
still
time
healing.
for tonight.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Well, thank you for sharing. And I could see another one.
Yeah, this one right here. So this is Through Hardships to the Stars.
Aspera all'astra.
Yep.
Why in this language?
Because it's beautiful.
I know.
This is Latin. It's beautiful. So this is my mom's handwriting.
Oh.
So my mom, when I was growing up, my mom had beautiful hand. I mean, I remember like watching her write it. It was such beautiful handwriting. And I remember even trying to forge her signature, and there was no way because her handwriting was beautiful. So I couldn't get away with signing her name at all on anything.
Or signing checks.
Yeah, I could not. Like,
no, high school reports.
No, more for like attendance, you know, like if I needed her signature for like to excuse an absence. But the past 10 years, she has been experiencing tremors in her hand. And so she will have to write, like hold her hand or with her left hand. And so I wanted to really capture her handwriting before she possibly could be losing it. But I love how she was like, it's not as good as it could be. I'm like, Mom, it's beautiful. So
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so she just
it's such a great expression too.
Yeah. There's a story. I feel like when you get some ink on your body, there should be a story behind it because it's an opportunity to share yourself to somebody. So
and our body is a beautiful canvas.
They are.
That needs and deserves to be touched, caressed, and colored.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Well, another vibration.
Another vibration. That's so funny. I don't even want to drink it because I feel the vibration, like it stops when my lips touch it. So it's like, I want to feel that.
That's great.
And then drink. So
no, it's very true. And we have 3 rings inside the glass to add the 3-dimensional Trinity vibration.
So I noticed that when you put it through the light, like you can see the light bending in different ways.
That's right.
And I've never seen that in a glass of wine.
We bend in every way.
You know what that's called, right?
No.
Light bending, it's called refraction.
Okay, tell us about that.
So light is always traveling and it's a wave.
Yes.
So waves need mediums, but light doesn't, which is kind of cool. So when light passes through like lenses or different mediums, it'll either reflect off like a mirror, or it'll pass through it and bend, which is called refraction. And that's how we get to see. So right now, I see a lot of blue. Is that a blue light?
It's coming from behind you.
Is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So there's
There's
blue
always
light.
Something behind you. Be careful.
Oh, jeez.
That's when you're in space. There's always a star looking at you.
There's always something looking. That's exactly right. So anyway, I can see the bending of these lights, and that's really kind of cool.
So talking about lights, you have another gorgeous necklace.
Oh, yes, this.
And there's a little spaceship. Look at this.
This.
I know Dylan likes to get closer to that part of our guests. Look at him. He is zooming into a spaceship. Oh, I know what you're doing now.
This is... You are hilarious. Okay, so this... this is the classic shuttle. During the shuttle program. And when I was selected, I found out I was selected in 2019, so the end of the year. And my administrator at the time, as a congratulations, she got this for me. And I was so appreciative I valued this. And it made me kind of tear up because when I was younger, it was the shuttle program that I grew up on in space. So
That's
when
right.
I was in the 6th grade, I was a young astronaut. So NASA had this program called the Young Astronauts, and I even still have my membership card.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it was the shuttle program that kind of spearheaded my interest in space exploration.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you get that passion for space and the universe and the planets and what is above us?
I know. Aren't you into that too?
Oh, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah, it just...
As our common friend Kimberly, who we adore and introduce us. Let's have a toast for Kimberly.
Yeah, let's toast Kim.
This gorgeous, beautiful Kimberly.
Yes, Kim is...
She knows how to put people together. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kimberly.
she really does. Okay.
So I wanted to be an astronaut to the point that at 20 years old, I had the opportunity in Huntsville, Alabama to do the 3-day.
The space camp?
I
done
loved
that.
it.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Wasn't it great?
The best.
Man. You can do that now as an adult. No, because now they have... Sorry, I don't mean to like...
Oh, I like that. It's good.
So you can simulate a mission... a Mars mission. So as an adult, like you can see like what they're doing. Kim, we were talking about going as adults and doing it. Like we should maybe get a little group together and go as adults.
In. Dylan, are you in?
Oh, look at this. See, so
no, we all in. It's my dream
because it's a different experience than when you went when you were 20. So because it's all updated, it has a different vibe to it, and
well, we did the gravity experience. We did the speed experience.
They have that.
The tough one, huh?
Yeah,
the speed.
That is I think 3 Gs. So they have you going 3 Gs. For this one, though, it's a different mission. So they have the Orion. So they have a mission where so I was mission director for our Mars mission.
Good for you.
I got to say, okay.
I'm going to call you mission commander. That's much better than that.
You don't like mission director?
Oh, for sure I do. But that's very intimidating.
But commander is more palatable.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you're in charge anyhow. You feel. I feel you command.
Yes. So I think we should all go because it really is fun. But when it started when Krista McAuliffe, the Challenger. So I was in the 4th grade and we watched that tragedy occur. And I just remember thinking, oh, wow, this was a regular person that was trying to go to space. And she was a teacher. And how cool is that? And she wasn't even a science teacher. She was just a history teacher. And her passion for her students to have access to whatever opportunities that came through as, during her selection process. And
so she was kind of a mentor to you in many ways.
Yeah.
An inspiration.
An inspiration, yeah. And I remember when I was in the Young Astronaut program, NASA was looking for... They wanted us to design a logo for a coin. I can't remember what it was. And I remember my mom helping me out. My mom was like, why don't we do something for Krista McAuliffe? And she helped me draw a picture of Krista McAuliffe on this little round piece of paper.
Great idea.
Yeah, and it was not selected. So anyway.
So what do you recommend to all those fabulous kids, not necessarily your students yet, but
around the world?
Yeah, to do, or what to do to eventually graduate, to do what you've done and to go to space?
Well, the cool part is you don't really have to do much anymore. I think by the time kids now are old enough, it's going to be more accessible to go. You think so? Yeah, like anybody can go.
It's a little pricey right now.
It is very pricey. But in the meantime, if you want to work and contribute to space exploration, you got to major in some sort of STEM. Look at the NASA website. They give all the requirements of what you need to do your research, and be passionate about the things that you want.
The key.
And genuine.
Yes.
And genuine.
The essence of it. So tell us as well about STEM, because you've done obviously many degrees. One of them is in STEM. This is what you teach.
Yeah.
So what is that all about?
Yeah.
How's it a generic question?
I know. So, everything. So I'm a firm believer in following doors that are opened for you. Okay. So I actually majored in biological anthropology and at UC Davis. And then I became a teacher, and I was thinking I wanted to be a biology teacher. And I never knew that my passion for space would actually bring me to where I am now. Because I remember trying to find a job as a teacher, and there were teachers that were telling me, hey, they're getting rid of earth and space science. You should probably be a biology teacher or a chemistry teacher or whatnot. And I thought, what a strange thing to not learn about your own planet. Like, why are they taking that out of... Anyway, so I just remember that in the back of my mind. But the reality is, like, if you feel good about what you're doing, and I think I've told Kim this actually before, if you do the right things for the right reasons, the right things will happen. And so I've just kind of gone through where opportunities have led me, and it's led me here to JCB, having wine, talking about space.
Hey, we almost in space.
In crystal glasses? Like, how is that even possible?
In a wine of 76, which is probably one of the best vintage of birth, as we could see.
Yeah, and it's hard to... Oh, I cheers, and I should probably drink after that.
If not, it's 7 years of bad something. Oh, we don't want that to happen.
So,
whatever that thing is.
Exactly.
It's scary not to have it.
So,
and you know it when you don't have it. And when you have it, you know that you have it.
I don't
For the most
know
part.
what that meant, but I feel it.
Let's do another vibration.
Well, I'm done.
Well, there's still a little drop.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you red wine now.
Oh, all right. Okay, we're moving on to the reds. I'm still working on the bubbly.
I will never take it away.
Oh, here we go.
Now I'm going to go to number 37. But so space is your passion. So what should we expect from space and the world above us?
Well, you should expect that we can't live there. Mm-hmm. We are not meant to be there. However, we are human beings, and we're very curious, and we like to challenge what we can't have, right? So I expect to vacation, expect to be able to see the world in a different view. And it's going to happen fast.
Really?
It's going to happen.
It seems
so
that everybody's
much
moving
fast.
in this direction.
Yes,
right?
It's going to happen so fast, and a lot of people talk about how billionaires are going, and and it seems like a negative connotation or a negative experience, but the reality is.
Thank God they're doing it.
No, so if you think about it, like I remember my aunt, who was the manager, or she was the district manager of Kaiser in Northern California. And she had this cell phone that was in her car. It was like this box, right? Sure. And so people used to have money. People who had money had these things available that now, anybody can have access to.
Right.
So, it's the unfortunate thing, maybe, that people with money pave the way, but it's also a blessing, because only time will tell how much they have done for humanity in terms of space travel. And I have full confidence and full faith that there's going to be way more people taking a look at our planet from above than ever before. And that's beautiful. So
how did you feel when you look at Gaia, this Earth, from above? Because you were pretty high.
I was pretty high up there.
What did you sense? Did you want to put your arms around her like Saint-Exupéry with the Little Prince? And
honestly, I looked at humanity and the humans that were down on the surface. And I just feel, and I say this every time I talk to my students or anybody, that if people knew how unique life is in our universe is mind-blowingly infinite.
Yes.
We don't even know the edge of how far our universe can go. And so far, we are the only ones that we know are living and alive and at least conscious about it. And so if we just took a moment to just appreciate that we are that and we're aware of that, I feel like we would take care of each other a little bit better.
For sure. Can you believe, dear friends, that the moon is 0.27 of the size of the Earth, which is 109 times smaller than the sun? It's pretty amazing.
Well, yes. The moon.
When you think about the little dots of just those things.
Do you know where our moon came from?
Tell us.
I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, the moon...
Isn't it great to have an educator on the show? We're going to learn all kinds of things.
So the moon is actually part of Earth.
Is it?
And we know that, like, the evidence...
She left us?
She left us, but she left us because something hit us.
Ooh.
So the moon is actually, they've age dated it. Like, they look at it, like, the evidence behind where our moon came from is very much part of Earth. So at one point while Earth was forming 4.5 billion years ago, something hit and collided with Earth, and a big chunk of our planet left us. But the cool thing about gravity is, and I'm not quite sure if you know what gravity is, but gravity is an attraction between two masses.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Newton's definition of gravity. And so when you have that gravitational attraction to each other, the moon just kind of stopped where it was. And so it'll fluctuate. It'll kind of go back and forth and back and forth, and it has this little dance with our planet. And that's how we have like our tides and stuff. But our moon is part of our planet.
Wow.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
So why do you like to teach so much?
Man, no one's ever asked me that.
I know. Well, you're on the JCB Live.
I know.
See, there's a lot of questions I have
Is it
for you.
live?
It's totally live.
It's not live.
It's live. We always live. Live is live. Life is live. Life is live.
We're living right now. We're living. There we go.
We found a common sound we love.
I know. There we go. Okay.
Oh, you did it with your finger. Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Why do I like teaching? Oh man, it's so cool when you're talking about something you love and like a kid is doing this, you know?
And suddenly
But then all of a sudden they're like, wait, what'd you just say? And then they're like, the light bulbs are going off. And it's so cool to see them like...
I doubt with you in the class they're like this. They're never bored with you.
Sometimes they are. For the most part, they're not. Yeah. But there's moments where I'm like, oh man, they are not. Usually first period is like, oh god, they are just asleep. But they, for the most part, they're pretty much engaged. If anything, they just have so many questions. And what's cool is not only do they have questions, but they have their own ideas of how things are. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the fun part, is like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. Yes, you're onto something. And I always tell them, you should go to college and study that. You should be the person to debunk that. You should be the one that, says, hey, that's not how things are. And so, and with, kids they always ask me, hey, Miss Stamas, what do you feel about the debate on flat Earth? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's not a debate. So let's just get this out of the way. Second of all, if you feel like the Earth is flat, you should go to college and you should really look into that, and you should really study that and prove everybody wrong. I want you to prove everybody wrong, because that's what science is about. It's evolution of knowledge. That's all science is evolution of knowledge.
Very true.
And to tell a student like you're wrong about how you think, that's just not, it doesn't do anything for the advancement of that evolution of knowledge. So I really like to tell students, well, first of all, it's not a debate because the Earth is round. However, that would be super cool if you were the one to actually prove. Yes. You
tell them how the apple fell on the head. And
that's not a real thing.
No?
No.
I just love that story.
No, oh, sorry.
I'm certainly non-scientific, as we all know.
So,
I like the creative, charming, poetic story.
So Newton sat under a tree and was like, this apple fell, and he's like, gravity.
Yes, it sounds like a great story. I love Jules Verne, as you know.
Who?
Jules Verne. He wrote Go Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh,
He was the man who wrote so many books about space.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. You'll have to like...
So if there's one thing you want to tell us about space that is the most coolest thing you've learned on space that really makes you vibrate, get excited about space, that we should all know. Engage us into the spatial world.
Well, the only thing that...
Can we plant vineyards in space? Because that's something we want to do.
Yeah. So we can grow things in space. That's been proven.
Where would you do it? Where's the best terroir to make this wine?
On a spaceship.
Well, that's good too. We'll do that. So we'll bring some earth with us.
So you'd have to do it on a spaceship. You could potentially do it on Mars. So I had students actually create this was a few years ago. They created biodomes and a plan on how to maintain life on Mars. So they came up with some cool stuff. So you could actually burrow into the ground and have a biodome and under the ground because the magnetic field lack of magnetic field. You just need a few things. You need fertilizer, which, that can come out of our bodies.
Sure.
We can recycle that.
I like this idea much better than synthetic products.
Yeah. So
all those wines are organic.
So you
we
can
don't
use
like
that.
synthetics.
You can recycle water. So that's a good thing. There's all kinds of cool things that you can do. And they're growing things on the space station right now. And
space is teaching us back on Earth so much. As we do research on space.
A lot of people don't know that the space station does science up there. They're not just up there playing around. So I would say about 2 years ago, they launched some scientific research materials for Lou Gehrig's disease, ASL. Is that what it is? ASL? Yeah. So ASL. And one of the things why they can't find a cure is because there's these crystals on patients with ASL that only grow a certain amount on these proteins.
I see.
And the reason why they don't grow big is because of gravity. So gravity is like, it's holding everything back from growing. You probably could grow way more grapes in space than you could down here. But anyway, they probably would get super big.
We're almost out of wine, so we need to think about it.
Exactly. So what they did is they sent these proteins up to space, and these proteins now can grow much bigger, and researchers can get into and better understand these crystals that are growing on the proteins, and hopefully find a cure based off of the growth of those proteins, or no, the growth of the crystals of the patients with ASL. So a lot of people don't realize how much we benefit from space exploration. LASIK surgery, so that is due to NASA research. Your Tempur-Pedic mattresses, that is a spin-off product of NASA. A lot of medical advances come from NASA because they want to know how can the human body live in an environment where things aren't supposed to live.
That's it.
And so, like Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman in space, she studied the effects of gravity on your heart.
On your heart, that's right.
So anyway.
And what was her big findings on that?
Well, one of the things is, so your heart is a muscle.
Yes.
And your muscle needs resistance to build. Yeah. When you're in microgravity, you don't have that resistance anymore. So astronauts need to exercise more. And so if you notice, like when they're exercising in space, they are using, they're like buckled in. They use like a resistance type of thing because you need gravity to lift weights, right? Yes. If you're lifting weights in an environment where there's no gravity, you're just like, oh, hey, So
what does your muscle needs the most?
Love.
I was gonna say that. She
Wine.
took it from me. Domina. If there's a very charming man in the world, would you accept an alien?
No. Wait, hold on. Define alien.
Well, a form, a structure, a molecular structure that we don't know today.
No. I want a human.
Why do you want a human?
Well, because I know the human body.
What about a body?
If an alien came down and was like, "Hey, let's date," I would be like, "I don't know your parts." What would I do with your parts?
Well, you know, maybe
Right?
it's
Like,
another...
am I wrong?
Don't you think it could be another...
Would you date an alien?
Totally, because maybe another part gives me more pleasure than the actual parts that I know.
I'm gonna just
I would be audaciously curious.
That's
I welcome all the aliens in the world that want to come and join me for anything that Domina and I will do.
Yeah, you seem like you would do that. That's
I
actually
totally.
fun. And you know what? I admire
I would open
that
my
about
arms
you.
to it. I will go in the leopard room.
Oh.
I think, Dylan, we want to zoom in for our friends to see a little bit of the leopard room. I would go right there, spread my arms and my legs and say, please welcome.
And your legs.
You know, they may be excited, or the excitement may come from your ear in the future, may come from your nostrils, may come from your little finger. We don't know. What about if we cross our little finger?
Pinky permanent?
Do you feel it?
Let's do it again, because I didn't feel it that first time.
Wow.
Ready?
We can always try it for a second.
I'm always open for another try. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel it now.
Oh.
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 No.
It's getting really hot. Is there another layer to take off?
I'm not taking off any more layers. So it prolongs the drinking.
So we are drinking number 37. It's a Pinot Noir.
I love a good Pinot Noir.
So what does this one makes you?
This one, there's a little bit of,
I'm so hot, I'm drinking faster. We're going to go to space later with our pinkies tied together.
And we're gonna be tethered by our pinkies, floating in space.
Let's try to drink with our pinkies.
That's kind of, all right.
Yeah. We're holding pinkies and drinking. Forget about how do you call this when people do in English?
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling. It's pinky enjoyment. Forget about wrestling. Isn't it much better? Imagine you all come and see both of us in a bar drinking like this, holding pinkies. It's maybe a new way to enjoy each other.
It could be. You know, I'm going to update my Bumble account and I'm going to be like, hey, like, what's your ideal date? And I'm going to be like, we're going to pinky. What'd you call it?
Let's pinky.
Pinky. No, you call it, instead of arm wrestling, it's pinky what? What'd you call it?
Pinky enjoyment.
Okay, pinky. I would like
pinky seduction.
Oh, no. Pinky seduction.
Do you wear gloves when you go to space?
Well, you have to,
oh.
but I didn't.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't go to space, but I went to
stratosphere.
The stratosphere is pretty high up there. It's higher than most.
So besides good-looking men, what inspires you?
Actually, men don't inspire.
They don't, huh?
No.
Well, I hope the last 40 minutes we spent together were inspiring.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, good.
Yes. You are not like most men.
Thank you.
Yeah, so take that as a compliment.
Finally, it's coming. It took 41 minutes. And it took pinky seduction.
It was the pinky seduction that really got me.
So men, when you go to a bar and you just walk around with your pinky high and maybe someone will know what you're looking for.
It would be only me.
Well, but we'll post where she hangs out.
Yes.
You have a chance. And you saw those beautiful, big, large blue eyes. Ooh.
I feel like they're more beady than big, but that's just me.
The light
I got
comes
more
in.
beady than big.
They vary. So inspiration.
Okay, so what inspires me? Honestly, it's
be honest.
It's the kids.
Yes.
It's the kids.
And you have two yourself.
I have two myself. One is 21, one is 19.
It's amazing when you start to have kids at 10. Was it allowed in 1976? You actually had your kids in 86. You were 10 years old.
No.
Such a young lady.
No, that's so sweet of you.
But that's amazing. 21 already.
Yeah, she's
Mine's
21.
a 10. So, you know.
Oh, okay. All right. You gotta. So how many daughters do you have?
Well, as a Frenchman, you like to do things efficiently. So one boom boom, two girls came out.
Oh, ooh. That is efficient.
We held each other's pinky.
So you only did...
That's the recipe, dear friends. Gina and I were pinky.
That doesn't make sense. Only one boom boom? Why is that considered
efficient? Well, one boom boom that second.
Exactly. I was gonna say you're French. I would not think you would think that was efficient.
We actually do 60 boom boom per minute.
Good. Okay. Whoa. That's
I know. Well,
that. No, you
you know.
didn't.
Well, when you listen to that sound.
That's a good boom boom right there.
Can you imagine if we're in space today, how this conversation
You know what's
will
crazy?
go?
If we were in space, we would not hear that.
Why not?
Good question. Because, like I said, waves travel and they need a medium. Light is the only wave that does not need a medium. Sound, however, does need a medium. And so when you produce a sound in space, you can't hear it because there's nothing to travel. There's nothing for it to travel through to get to your ear.
I see.
Sound is actually a construct of a human sense.
Huh.
So we are only told that we hear a certain thing, or we only know a certain sound because we were told that's what it sounds like, just like colors.
I see. So in space, you cannot listen to music?
You can on the space station because there's a medium, there's air.
Sure.
But if you were like floating in space and you had like your helmet on and you were talking to each other and like outside doing a spacewalk, you would not be able to hear those things. Because the sound between the two people cannot travel to your ears.
Wow. Learning at all time. What a great
Always.
teacher. Can we attend your class?
Yes. Actually, you know what I would like for you to
I'm
attend?
a child anyhow.
I know.
Qualify for that.
Can you and your daughters, please?
Yes.
So you know that Kim and I do this thing for Space for Girls.
That's right.
So
tell us about Space for Girls.
So Space for Girls, our mission is to essentially set up a group of girls to pursue careers in space exploration. And so what we are doing, and what I love about it, is also a global initiative.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we're taking a group of girls in my classrooms, and
so cool.
they are going. So this semester they're freshmen.
Yeah.
So they're going to build a space weather balloon. They get to pick the data they want to collect. They get to do they get to pick all those things, and so I guide them into whatever it is they want to do. So our launch date is December 11th. It's in Sacramento. The Museum of Science.
It's still time.
Yeah, so the Museum of Science is going to host it. So there's going to be media there. They already said, hey.
I'm coming.
So we want you to be there.
But do I have to be with my daughter?
Yes, for the love of God.
Ladies,
I was
do you want to come?
just going to say, like, your daughter should come,
We
please.
don't shake hands with a beautiful lady.
Oh, that's so
kiss
sweet.
the hand.
Oh, thank you so much.
Please,
Yes.
shaking hand. Let's shake the pinky. It's pinky promise.
Pinky promise.
Does that exist in English?
Yes. Well, it used to be pinky swear.
Pinky swear.
But
I'm coming.
yes, okay.
December 11th.
That's on video. Anyway, but for some reason, the word swear somehow is like not a good thing. So then it evolved into pinky permanent.
Pinky permanent.
So
what are we going to do with Space for Girls?
Right. So then when the girls launch, in December, they'll go collect the data or whatever. But in the meantime, Kim and I and our group of our team, we're gonna prep a set of girls in Nigeria. And so my girls will mentor the girls in Nigeria on their weather balloon launch. And so they'll get to take a leadership role in showing these girls how to launch a weather balloon and all that. And the idea is that we take this group of girls all the way. So next year so their freshman year, they would do weather balloons. The second year, we're going to do an astrobiology component. So they'll get to grow something on the International Space Station. And then ultimately their senior year, they will be building satellite cubes and launching them into space.
That's a huge deal.
Exactly. And so the idea is to really foster this relationship, connections, building, mentorship globally, and hopefully have them get to eventually go to space.
And that's something you created with Kim.
No, Kim created it.
Yes. So tell us about Kim and this amazing lady.
Yeah, so
Kim. You've been
Kim,
looking at her. There she is.
She's behind the camera.
And we'll get her on the camera to tell us more.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean,
about spaceforgirls.org.
She's the one that probably should best, because she contacted me and was like, hey, I have this thing called Space for Girls, and would you be interested? And I was like, sure, I get people contacting me all the time about things, but I just had a good feeling about this one. And so I met with her here and we talked more. And
Are you going to accept when people in the chat just invite you for a drink somewhere? Because it's going to happen today. I know that.
I don't think that'll happen.
Well, I could be the filter. I'll be the
Okay.
qualifier.
Yes. Can you do that?
What about
Yeah.
that? I'll be your chaperone.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drive to Napa.
Absolutely. I'll organize the dates right here.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll do an interview.
So I don't have time to, to figure things out. So if you can do the filter, that'll be great.
So we'll invite Kim, our common friend, to really tell us more about Space for Girls, because
Yes.
the ultimate goal is...
Oh, the ultimate girl, the ultimate
Girl
goal,
too.
the ultimate girl.
You're
That's
the
Kim.
ultimate girl.
The ultimate goal is to get more girls interested in space exploration. And honestly, there's actually a lot of them. They're really good. Like the girls that we have actually, or I should say women, the women that we have encountered, they're super passionate about it. They're really interested in it. And just creating, or I should say, reducing that gap.
That's right. And I must say, some of the best scientists in the world, and at NASA and many others,
are women.
Are ladies.
Yes,
exactly.
That's exactly right.
And so many ladies went to space at this stage. I mean, there's a big list of people who went to space. So
I'd like to tell you about this research that I learned about physics. Yeah. So there was this research done with boys versus girls in a physics class. And when you had a heterogeneous group, so meaning boys and girls mixed, the boys performed a certain way and the girls performed a certain way.
Yes.
But when you separated them...
The men are from Mars and the girls from Venus, right? Is that true?
No, not necessarily. They're all from Earth. Anyway, so when you got the boys, like a group of boys and then a group of girls, the boys performed the same. There was no change in performance. But when the girls got together, their academic performance actually increased. And so there's this weird, cultural thing where when you get the boys in to a group with girls, boys typically tend to take leadership roles. They lead them into learning. It's just a natural, natural thing. It's not anything bad, right? Mm-hmm. But if we can acknowledge that when girls team up together and they solve problems together, they can perform at their optimum.
That's right.
Versus if they have, if they're in a group with boys. So I
believe in this.
Yeah, I hope to. And it's research. This is research based. So you can look that up. But it's very interesting. And I think Space for Girls wants to use that information to be able to say, hey, you can be in a leadership role and you can perform to your optimum, not outperform the boy. That's not what they're looking at. It's not about outperforming boys.
That's it.
It's just performing at your optimum, at your most and your best. And when you're in an environment, and this can be true for any group of people, when you're not in your environment when you can perform at your optimum, that is a disservice to yourself. So if you can figure out how to foster that and show groups that they could, perform at their most, what a beautiful thing. We're all humans. We deserve to perform at our
And your
most.
research is echoed in our little organization.
That's not my research.
Yeah, but whoever researched.
Yes, exactly.
We see it ourselves as a company. We have an ambassador program, and there's many ambassadors watching.
Oh.
And men at 10%, women 90%, thousands of them, promoting wine around the world. And those women are incredible. They are fascinating and fabulous. And in our company as well, all the top positions are ladies. And working at teams together, they're amazing.
I'm curious. So in French culture,
yes.
Is it different in terms of valuing women, or is it different?
I think we value women in the French culture possibly higher than in any other culture.
I feel like that.
Woman for us is the mother, the divinity, this unbelievable creation that can multitask, that can perform, that has so many skills, that is a fast learner, that is an educator, that is a great listener, and an executor.
Yeah.
And a woman, I've seen it with my mother, of course, she's watching, and my sister and my grandmothers and my wife. I mean, they're amazing. And you don't talk about it, you just do. Men will talk
yeah.
about doing something that they may eventually do. Whereas
Like what?
women,
Like what?
well, I'm going to do this, and they talk about it. A woman had already done it. She's moved on. I want to show you one last thing.
Oh.
What is this, baby? Pinky, pinky.
Oh, wait. Ooh, it's so textual.
It's a meteor.
Real?
Can you believe? So this is our
What?
perfect score wine.
Wait, hold on.
We haven't opened
Are we?
it.
Oh, we're going to. Though.
We
Are we going to?
will, but later tonight. This is just the beginning of the evening. This is our 100-point wine.
Wait, what? Whoa!
Oh, I know, the highest score. Made with a lady, Stephanie Putnam.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Surrealist, and we took 250 meteor coming from space, and we affixed them one by one on the bottle. And this is called the Meteor 2017 vintage. There's a few bottles left, and we just released it literally a month ago.
That is so awesome.
And we did it with a great friend of ours, Joseph Minafra, who is a top scientist at NASA, and his wife Kimberly, in fact. And they provided us those amazing,
pieces of meteorite.
Another from 4.5 million years ago. As
that's
you said.
exactly right.
Here they are. So we're very excited. What do you think?
I'm in
so
awe.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm in awe. I'm so glad you did that. That is so awesome.
So, talking about wine, what do you feel about this? You never told me.
Is this the Pinot Noir?
Number 37 stands for 1937, when the Golden Gate Bridge was built.
Oh.
And you passed the Golden Gate from San Francisco, you're right in Marin County.
But is this the Pinot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I talked about the Pinot.
Well, you did, but
wait,
now that you know what it is,
it's
from Marin County.
Okay.
You don't think of Marin County for Pinot Noir, but this is something very delicate, very enigmatic, like you.
Oh, hold on, I don't know even.
Marin County, for many of you,
I like
you
Marin.
passed the Golden Gate.
I don't even know how to do this part.
You're doing a great
job. Am I doing
job.
it right? Like it's not even like swirl.
So you're right-handed, huh? You do it counterclockwise. I like that.
What
You're creating chaos, and then you're creating energy this way.
Oh, so
that's great. You did both.
What did I do?
So you went this way. She held it with the right hand, and she went this way.
I went this way. It's counterclockwise.
Which is great. Chaos.
Okay.
And now you create energy, the yin and the yang.
Oh, we're yin and yanging.
What's your dream?
My dream? Oh, that's a different... Whoa!
Well done. You feel it.
Whoa, that is a different experience. Which way you swirl.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm a scientist, so I have to test this.
It's
and
all about
repeat
polarization. It's all about energy.
Okay, so I'm going to go counterclockwise like I was.
You see?
Okay, yeah. Wait,
Dylan has his mouth open, dear friends, just for you to know.
It's definitely
Patrick
aromatic.
is shivering, and Kimberly is jumping. So the energy is working in the right direction.
Okay.
You see?
And it's not as
Feel the aromatic.
Yeah, so it's not as aromatic clockwise.
Exactly. Because you're going within the energy of what you already know. Chaos, you're creating the ultimate, molecular breakout in the glass.
How is that even a thing? That's so crazy.
I know.
I'm going to drink.
Drink it. Tell me what you feel for our last question. Because all our friends
are dying
to drink wine. And
this is such a good Pinot Noir. It's a little spicy.
If it was a planet, how would you describe it? Well, spicy.
I like that. Okay. If this were a planet, let's just do this one more time.
Let's do it again. I'm going counterclockwise to get the maximum aroma. Jupiter?
I would say Jupiter.
I felt it. We said it at the same time.
Yeah.
And why Jupiter?
I would say Jupiter.
Because it goes in circles in your nose?
Yeah.
that
doesn't make any sense. Because it's bold, but it's not like flamboyant. having rings like
Yes,
Saturn.
that's it.
You know what I mean? Or Uranus. So it's just like this subtle largeness.
Yes.
With a lot of layers. And Jupiter has a lot of layers. And there's a little bit of a chaos in there with a little bit of...
Can you do that again with your finger? I like
chaos.
I get hypnotized. Here we go.
No, you didn't.
That was brilliantly said.
Yeah, so I would say that I would compare this to Jupiter. Lots of layers, bold, but not too like out there with like...
I must confess the best description ever. And this vineyard is close by to the man who created Star Wars.
Lucas? What?
Because his ranch, Skywalker, is in Marin County. And very close to his own ranch and his own great wines, Skywalker wines, we have this vineyard that provides this amazing grape. So it's pretty cool.
So I really should have said that this was more like Tatooine.
Well, here we are. It's very appropriate.
I mean, yeah, Tatooine. Is this where you do like choo 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 and stars and stuff when you're edits? I don't know how you do your edits.
We don't.
Choo choo choo, and this is where like the Starship Enterprise just kind of. Anyway.
Yes, indeed. So now comes the time of the big final line.
Okay, what is the
To all
final...
our guests.
Okay.
If you had one thing, it could be as long as 2 hours.
Oh, no.
Could be as short as 1 second.
Okay.
You want to convey to the world as a message to the world. It's pretty cool. Imagine you're at 150,000 feet in the sky. Miles, sorry.
My message would be that life as we know it is only here on this planet. And until we find something beyond us that is living and conscious like we are, we should probably be taking care of each other a little bit better, because there's no other place to go. There's no other sets of humans to take care of each other. And if we just did that, our world would be just a little bit better.
I would agree.
I should have brought my samurai sword. Oh, wow.
The bells are acknowledging of all religion, all skin colors,
That was...
all school of beliefs. We welcome everyone around the table. So thank you, Domina, so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so fun. Are we done drinking?
No.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we have a few more bottles, but we're going to say goodbye to our friends.
Okay, goodbye, and keep looking up. That's what I tell my students all the time. So
we're looking up to new stratospheres.
Yeah, and no, space.
Space.
Space and Mars and beyond.
Pinky.
Pinky.